So this is the underside of the CJ2A. Got her standing up, and you can see that she's seen some better days. So the right here, the body was actually resting on the transfer case and on the transmission. It wasn't even, you know, so far collapsed and so far gone in so many spots that it just sagged so far down and hit it. So old man's gonna start breaking stuff off with the rattle gun and separating the ribs that run on the underside of the floor pan. We got these ribs from a supplier, and he's gonna make panels to repair the sections that are really bad. And you know, a lot of it's still pretty well intact. The worst spots are in the flattest spots actually, so we're pretty happy. So he'll get to it and start dissecting. He's been dissecting a little bit, and look what we got. So there's the rib, the cross brace that runs underneath, rotten. And I believe they tend to rot because they put wood in them, kind of like the same way they build a truck bed. Just kind of collects moisture and tends to rot everything out.
So we're gonna put Trex in instead.
And he's going along and he's using that air chisel to break these guys loose. A lot of it's so rusty and crusty that it just pops right off. In other spots, he's probably gonna have to do a little bit more cutting and slicing to get them out. So keep going. Go pick up the new ones. They're at the house right now. Nice. And what's this over here? Oh, a patch panel.
What?
Quite nice. And we are doing some cutting and butting, he says, because it's quick and easy, and it doesn't need to be perfect. This is gonna be an off-road rig, guys. Ain't no show Jeep. Ain't no mall crawler. Okay, old man Pops is finishing up this shock mount for the driver's side. The upper one was busted off. That's what the old one looked like. And this is the new one he fabricated up.
Out of bolts and leftover
Out of bolts and leftover metal. Here's...
Because we got no lathe.
But we don't got a lathe, so we had to mill it down with the old grinder. Here you can see this transfer case is getting decently cleaner. I am pulling the drive shaft off right now so that I can get in and check out this e-brake drum, but she just don't really want to budge. Man, look how nasty that thing is. I'm gonna let that soak in the degreaser for a bit. That stuff is like tar. Here is our makeshift hot tank. It is pretty simple. We have a propane burner, a propane tank, a big pot, a dirty part, and a good amount of some industrial purple power, and a little bit of water, some heat. Really helps to get all the grease off. This is a steering gearbox that was full of it, and as you'll see later on, it gets it nice and shiny clean. Also, I'm overdubbing because the rest of our audio is hosed. Here's the steering gearbox out of the hot tank. You can see it has gotten almost all of the grease out. Just a couple little spots that it didn't get. And it's really awesome because all the grease is floating in the hot pot instead of me using a ton of cans of brake clean. Okay, so all of our parts got in today, so I'm going to zip the wheels off. We're going to get them over to Les Schwabi and get some new rubbers. One thing to keep in mind on these Jeeps, on these old Willys, the lugs and studs on the left-hand side of the vehicle on the driver's side, they are reverse thread. So I have this impact gun on Titan, and you will see that it takes the stud off. So something to be aware of. Don't try and zip them off. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Dad's been working on these wheels. We had a couple coats of paint on them. I think they used to be orange, red. Somebody put a coat of black. And there's some gray primer underneath that as well. These have been blasted, and paint is kind of pain in the butt to get off, but starting to straighten out these wheels a little bit. Dad's got a technique for doing that, just using this crescent wrench and put a little bit of bend on it and get it straightened out a little bit. He was trying to use a hammer and dolly initially, but it just was too much work. As long as you get it flat enough that the bead can seat well and not really interfere with that, you're good. You're not really working on a spot that's critical. Just kind of run your finger along and feel where it's bad. Here's a really bad one. He's gonna straighten it out just a bit and you're good to go. When he finishes up blasting and wire pressuring, that's what they look like. Oh boy, brand new wheels almost. Almost ready for paint, and see what they turn out. That's what it used to look like. We wish the front looked like that. That would be a cool kind of patina look. Whatever. After a quick coat of paint, we got new wheels. Yeah, it's a cool reddish orange. That was the original color on those wheels, so we're pretty excited. I think it looks like Kubota orange. He thinks it looks like a Coke red. I don't know, man. Next up, we have some more dissecting that needed to happen, more rot that was being taken care of. We had just so many little channels and pockets, and little pieces that needed to be rebuilt. Specifically, we had this little piece right up here. It was a structural piece for the frame to mount the body, and it just was completely gone and rotted out. The toolbox floor was all rotted out, and the underside of the toolbox was nasty. We rebuilt this little section right here. It was also rotted. We rust treated and painted the underside of the toolbox, just so that once we weld the piece on, it's treated and ready to go. We have a lot more little pieces that are being made, and obviously this big, massive piece that's getting made to get that floor rebuilt. Also, as we moved towards the back of the Jeep, we had another little section that was underneath one of the cross braces. And this, he actually really spent a good amount of time to make that. Kind of redneck engineer, making his own little brake, and built that whole section as one piece. But it's not the prettiest, but like we said, it's an off-road rig. Don't need to be perfect. We're not making a show car. Now what we really want to show is his new little toy that he made. We had this scrap 1/4-inch steel lying around and a couple pieces of metal conduit, and he built himself a little rotisserie. Now this is Mark 1. We'll end up doing a couple more things to it throughout the video, but check that out. Do you know how much of a game changer that is? Oh, it really sped up the whole process. It was super awesome. As I sit here and look at it as we're overdubbing this, I just think, man, I initially was thinking, don't waste your time making that, let's just get this thing done, but the amount of time that it saved and the convenience that it brought is just amazing. And now we can use it for further projects. It's welded and bolted to the cab in a couple of spots.